Hey everybody, welcome back to our Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to watch some more 86. We got some comments here today, so let's see what people got to say. We have Fell from the episode Real Name saying, Jerome is one of the characters that I learned to appreciate and understand. I also don't really agree with the rationale of Theo and Raiden in this case, as while Lena was doing little, she was still doing a lot more than other 86.
I mean, God, there's so much to unpack with even just that last portion of a sentence.
We got three sentences. Break it on down here.
Well, I mean, hey, God, so the problem is it's also a problematic thing. It's the first thing that came to my mind. I'm a good white person because I support my black neighbors, right? And then when you start breaking people down as, hey, I'm a good race figure, right? It's not.
Mhm.
It's not good. Not good what you're doing. Saying she's a good, oh wait, never mind. I think I'm going the wrong angle on this. Well, I think
Take
either.
it. Take your time.
No, I don't think I'm going the wrong angle. I think it's just a confusing way it's written. As while Lena was doing little, she was still doing a lot more than other 86. But she's part of the 85. So that's why I suddenly got thrown off. I realized you wrote 86, but she's not part of the 86. She's part of the 85. She's an Alba. She's part of the San Mongolia. Well, I mean, technically,
Right. Right.
it's hard to say. I call them 85s. They're 85s because they're part of the 85 districts.
Sure. Sure.
So, because technically the 86ers are also San Mongolians, Magnolians. They're
Yeah.
just not human. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, no.
Or not.
What I'm saying is this is the whole good white person shit that you see like on Twitter or TikTok or whatever.
Uh, I think when it comes down to it, of course, like I understand what Theo and Raiden's like perspective is on this. Like, one nice person isn't going to change their entire lives. They are suffering from a system of oppression, right?
Well, I mean, it could.
It can be nice, but it still doesn't really make them feel that much better, at least initially.
Well, I'm thinking like, God, I hate it when the reference is right there in my head, but
Uh-huh.
the words escape me. The famous Daddy Big Bucks is what I'm thinking of.
Mhm.
Takes in an orphan, changes her life. Literally, a person with enough power can change your life. One person can matter.
Right, but this would be a little bit
Daddy
more
Warbucks, by
like
the way, not Daddy Big Bucks. I don't know where the fuck that came from.
sure.
Daddy
Uh
Warbucks.
I'm still gonna go with Daddy Big Bucks because it's hilarious. So it'd be like if Daddy Big Bucks went, wait, that's an orphan and they're homeless. I'm going to give them this piece of bread. I really hope that helps you out, and then walks away. It didn't solve any of the problems. The bread's nice. That was a good gesture, but they still didn't get that house.
That's
That
a
is that is more like the metaphor
yeah,
here, I
sure.
would
It's
think.
the intro to Time Warp, right? It's
Hmm.
Doctor Frankenfurter. I'm gonna cause. I'm gonna ease the symptoms, but not the cause.
Right, exactly. I think that like hits it on the head there. If you're aware of the causes, you maybe want to deal with them.
But I will indicate once again, Daddy Warbucks did save an orphan from the streets.
Oh
One
yeah,
person with
Daddy Morebucks is good.
Daddy
That's fine.
Morebucks. It's now Daddy Big Bucks to Daddy Morebucks. It's
You know what?
Warbucks.
It's
I think it's like WHARL or
I
something.
have said daddy more times than I mean to today. So
Oh, you better believe it's getting clipped. So I'm going with Daddy. It's something I literally heard you say. So, anyways, my point being is that yes, a person with enough power can do things, but as we've seen from Lena in episodes 1 through 9, that she is clearly not a person with power, as every time
Mhm.
she tries to go to authority, authority rebukes her. It's not until episode 10 that she decides, well, I am the authority, and I am going to do these things.
She goes on an act of rebellion at the end.
Well, it's more so that we haven't seen yet if there's any, slap back to that, because we've spent our last episode with the remaining five to six people that we had, and now I assume this episode's going to tell us if anything bad happens to Lena due to what
Yeah,
she
I think
did.
that's what we're hoping for here. That will like see more of her
So you
perspective
heard
now.
that here. Griff is hoping something bad happens to Lena.
Something bad always happens to people in this show.
Not to Lena so far.
But our next
Lena's
commentator.
shit, it comes upon herself. She's self-suffering. Also, you didn't finish the first comment. We've only covered everything after the first sentence.
What else is there to say? What else you got?
Well, why would you learn? How would you learn to appreciate Jerome?
You'll have to describe me. Which person
Well,
was
oh, I
Jerome? I
have to
mean,
describe you, do I? Well,
sure.
somewhat argumentative, know-it-all at his base, but possibly a good guy. Has Christ issues, though.
More seriously, who are we talking about?
Jerome.
All right, you're gonna drive me crazy. Next, next comment.
You not remember who Jerome is?
No, I don't. That's all I'm asking.
How do you not know? Okay, I'll give you a hint. We had a discussion before where I wasn't sure what his first name was. He signs everything that I read to you, Griff.
Oh, is this Lena's uncle slash commander?
There you go.
Okay. There we go. That's all you had to say.
Well, I have such incredulity at you, Griff, that we talk about him every week. That's why I'm like, how do you not know who he is?
Right, but I think here, at least like as a comment from an earlier episode, looking in the future, Jerome is a more complicated character than he first appears.
I don't know, you shit on him in episode 9, so...
I sure did, but that doesn't mean he's not complicated or interesting.
I want the audience to figure that one out, given how much shit I get for saying something is stupid. So if you can shit on Jerome and he turns out to be a good guy...
Hey, I mean, you literally went on that with our other character, not Lena, but Lena's friend, Annette. Yes,
Yeah.
Annette.
Well, technically Henrietta.
Okay.
I think Annette is somehow short for Henrietta, despite the fact that mouthfeel, they feel like the same amount of letters or syllables.
Right. But still, Jerome seems to me like a character who actually understands what's going on and also has a bit of that fatalistic viewpoint too. We just didn't dwell on him. We shifted that over to Annette, who took on the role of like having to do all
I
that.
want to just take the moment of comparison here that we shit on Jerome for his I'm not going to do anything to help these people, and I'm actively going to participate in their slaughter. Via Annette's, I'm going to actively do inhumane experiments on children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, both terrible.
Right. I feel like my I don't remember saying anything really to compare Jerome and Annette, but my point was more so that Annette came out on I continued my dad's experiments after he killed himself out of guilt and continued to experiment on children as a bad thing.
I mean, I'm saying this as like slightly distant, pulled back, looking at the narrative, going, these two characters probably could have served the same purpose, but we shifted to one instead of the other. I wonder if Jerome will be paid off later. This is like the thought going through my head.
I don't know.
Why did he kill Lena's father? We assumed that happened, right?
Well, I don't know. We've been guessing at that. That's getting even more vague as time goes on. But
did he have a larger role in things? It is now even more fatalistic about it. What's going on with him?
I would say that what you just said, the combining of characters sort of thing, I think that would be harder to do than when we were talking about combining Setsuna and Saji, because those are two weirdly distinct characters. I think it would be harder to make Jerome a scientist and a general at the same time.
I guess there's only one show I can think of that successfully combines characters, and I mean, that would be Full Metal Alchemist, obviously.
I mean, it doesn't really. But, no, I mean, my point...
No, literally.
Oh, yeah, literally, they don't do it successfully. That's why they get killed later. But my point being is more... I think even more so is that Annette's dad has to kill himself because of guilt, and that's not something that Jerome displays. So they have to be distinct characters. Or at least there has to be someone that felt such guilt that they were willing to commit suicide
Mhm.
and stand opposed to the other person that they know being Jerome. So I think that's why
Right.
those two have to be distinct characters.
Right, right. We don't have like the full makeup for it, which is why I assume maybe Jerome will get more things later.
Although I guess in fairness, Annette's dad isn't really a character. He is
Mhm.
a backstory element.
Yeah.
He doesn't
We've
act,
literally seen no words out of him. We just know context.
yeah,
That's
he
it.
he exists as part of our knowledge of the setting. He doesn't exist as he. I was about to make a swipe at Setsuna. Uh, he exists as a faceless throb that doesn't do anything. Somehow, I almost think that Annette's dad passes the plank test. I know what his emotions were based on her descriptions of him, versus I could look at a picture of Setsuna and not know what emotion is being displayed.
Well, I mean, people describe Plank too, but let's go ahead and go to our
I
next
I feel like
comment.
it's that office thing, right, where I get a picture of Setsuna intensely angry and a picture of Setsuna wistful, and it's like these are both the same picture.
Just another Josh says from the episode, thank you. I will always love that final Fido scene. You perfectly captured by saying it's the memories of every character that died dying. Not only is it sad seeing Fido be destroyed, but then all those memories we just watched disappeared alongside it. Every moment we just witnessed for characters we'll never see again just died alongside him. When a key part of the show is about remembering the lost, with both Shin's tag collection and Lena's little drawings in her box, the complete destruction of those memories hits so hard. It's such a beautiful and emotional choice. My favorite scenes in the montage are when you see three of the surviving characters, all of whom outwardly give off a cheerful attitude, being recorded by Fido in moments of weakness. Anju's breakdown after leaving the building, Karina's questioning if she can even do anything to help Shin, and Theo wondering if he will be the next to die. I love those moments of weakness, especially for Karina and Theo. Both are so cheerful around others, yet Fido alone saw them at incredibly lone moments that are now lost.
It's one of the saddest moments of the show. Um,
I honestly did not expect Fido to suddenly become the breakout character, that's for sure.
well, I mean, to the first paragraph, at the very least, we know that Shin is supposed to be remembering everything too, so it's not the complete loss of emotion. Not the complete loss
Mhm.
of, it's not the complete loss of memory. Since Shin is apparently that kind of person who remembers everything that they've ever seen. So, as so long as
Mhm.
we still have Shin, we still have all those memories, except for, of course, the things he wasn't there to see, like what we saw with Fido when Fido's apparently hiding in the
Mhm.
woods behind the building so that he can see Anju crying because Black Dog is dead.
You're right, right. I would say that we could draw some parallels between Shin and Fido, where you could say this could have been Shin and this could be his fate in the future. You know, if you're a heartless person who can't see humanity in Fido just because he's not a human or shape or something.
I was sorry. When I was pointing to myself and saying that's me, I meant before you said, who can't see X and Fido? I'm just an emotionless person who can't see humanity.
Yeah. Right, but I mean, they've been on that same journey together quite literally. Fido represents the potential loss that is going to happen when Shin also bites the bucket here, because they've already admitted, like, they're probably just going to die out there.
I think also to the second half of the comment, it's the solution to my problem with the second Ranking of Kings series
Oh, yeah?
is that we got a bunch of like side shit for like half episodes,
Yeah.
and it's like this was all of that extra stuff in an episode, and technically it was just the same length as any other half episode from Ranking of
Mhm.
Kings. It's just we got to see everything, like when Anju was carrying the pot and the two people come up to help her. She says, "No, I got it," and they're like talking about how heavy it is. She says, I can carry this weight." And
Mhm.
then we see it from Fido's perspective when she walks out the door and slinks down and starts crying. It's like, cool. That's a scene that we didn't get originally, but here it is encapsulated in the show. And such a
Mhm.
brief moment of like blink and you'll miss it, but it's there.
I think also it definitely, just like as one last note, they definitely it adds to like their humanity. Like you're always saying, it's like you hate like Setsuna for not showing any emotions. Like here's people who are like, yeah, going through all these moments of weakness that have more than one like dial on their personality here to tune to.
To clarify, I don't actively hate Setsuna. That would be a strange thing, right? That
You can't
Setsuna's
hate a piece
that
of wood, right?
that Setsuna's lack of emotion elicits an emotion from me. That would be weird. It's that I just don't like it. That's all. It's not a character. Again, Plank is a character who's made of wood, and other people express what he feels. That's what Setsuna is.
Mhm.
Setsuna is Plank.
So let's go ahead and go over what happened
Well,
last time
before
real
you do
quick.
that, Griff,
Oh
I've got this
yeah?
whole collection of thoughts here to do.
Oh, you sure do. Go ahead.
Well,
We got a segment here called Theta's
it's
Thoughts.
better to do it now before we do the recap. Because nobody's reading the recap and then forgetting what it is when I read out that long thing. Actually, I need to change my screen over here because I'm going to be sending you some images.
All right.
Might as well start doing that now
Start the
as I
slideshow.
slowly talk about it to you as I'm loading up the first one. All right, here we
Perhaps we'll
go.
go over the documentation for PowerPoint real quick. That'll
Yeah.
add some padding.
Well, no, that's not PowerPoint. That's how Pararaid works. Anyway, Fido was more than some AI helper that Shin found and brought along with them. As he was damaged on the battlefield, we saw his life flash before his eyes. In that last frame, we saw an image of a child Shin on the ground with his brother and a net behind him. Show image.
Oh, yep.
If we go back to, I should probably show the audience too. There we go. Remembering to show you, not anybody else. Let's see. If we go back to episode 8, where Annette is telling Alina that this was Shin's family house, we see a picture. Show image. I wish I could do these things faster. There we go, and then I will show the audience.
Oh, yeah, the crayon drawing.
We see a picture on the wall with Shin, Rei, their parent, and a small yellow dog. Fido followed Shin so faithfully because he was Shin's dog. Now, Annette in that same episode says they didn't use animals in their experiments, so clearly she is either lying or doesn't know everything that's going on either.
Maybe it was a robo dog. Because the first image we have is also a camera, right?
The first
With a full
image.
date and everything.
That is true. But why?
Why turn the robo dog into a mechanical loader? You know what? I don't know.
No, I'm not even thinking why turn a robo-dog. Well, one thing, the picture is drawn of an actual looking dog. They didn't draw a robot dog. I would
I
think,
mean, our robot toy dogs also look kind of like dogs.
yeah, but why would you draw it yellow then? Why wouldn't you just draw it like brown? Or not brown, but like gray or something.
Maybe it's blonde. Maybe it's a Labrador.
I mean, you bring up a good point. Why did it have a recording of it when it... Or is that just the way its memory works? Like, no, because remember, well, I don't know. What did Ray's memory look like when he was in the machine? Did he remember it with an overlay, or did he not remember it with an overlay?
I don't remember.
I mean, clearly we also saw flashback scenes, but I don't know if those were flashbacks for us, the audience, of what was happening, or were those flashbacks of Ray remembering what happened.
I think you also have a good point too, that maybe it is just how the new computer brain portrays it.
That's thrown me completely off now.
I know.
Why did it have an overlay if it was a dog? And I don't know. My only real pushback here is that we've never seen a robot dog anywhere. So,
True. We haven't seen much other robots whatsoever, even outside of the Legion. It's
however,
Legion and Fido. That's
now I'm
it.
doubling down. However, we've also been shown that the inside of the 85 districts is all completely artificial shit. Like, they don't even eat real food. Remember, it's all like artificial foods and pills.
Yep.
And they have real animals on the outside. So do they have fake animals on the inside?
Maybe they just have a vat growing or something.
They didn't have any animal toys when they were panning across the floor in that room. Ah, damn it, Griff. All right,
I
well,
know.
I
I've
guess
sent you on a conspiracy theory. Let's
it's
keep
not a
going.
conspiracy theory. It's just now this is the deep dive of everything I do when I write these down, and I didn't think about that. All right, well, I guess that's one for the comment section. I suppose there is also the question of who shot that low that remains. Given that it is essentially an Empire territory, that could only mean to me that one of the previous long term missions I read about last episode had gotten this far and survived. That's my theory, anyways. The fact it could barely move at all dissuades me from thinking that it got hurt on the front lines fight and crawled all the
Mhm.
way back here. The fact it also had an 86er bad mind copy, the black sheep thing,
Yeah.
and it either implies that it was on the front and received that there and then came back, or that if the previous thought of another 86er squadron has survived out here, that one of them got killed and brain scanned here.
Hmm. I think the latter checks out a whole lot. This is the evidence of the last people who came here. I think it's the one that fits the story and the timeline and the locations like all the best.
You know, I'm quickly realizing, and I don't know how I never realized this before, is that I
Uh-huh.
usually end a sentence of theory with like a question mark sort of thing, and you
Mhm.
end yours typically with like a statement. I leave things
I
out in the open and a question, and you always like, this is what's happened.
I guess it's my response is what it is. My hypothetical answer. If I have more questions, I mean we'll be here all day.
I feel like we're the reverse of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, with the doctor, the mad scientist at the front, and Steve.
Behold.
Yeah, you're the mad scientist because all you say are declaratives, and I'm Steve, and I'm just questioning everything that's fucking going on in this building.
I've finally done it. I've created the perfect anime reaction.
Alright, I got one left, and it's my longest one.
Alright.
The Empire Ghost Town is also a bit of a mystery in itself, if you think about it. There weren't bodies littering the streets, and no large scale battle damage anywhere. There were items on display in stores' windows still, so not even any real looting. It doesn't look like a fight even happened here. The damage visible, I would say, feels comparable to the place just not being maintained for over 5 years. Whatever did happen seems to have happened quickly enough that people didn't take their things with them if they ran forward or evacuated. They clearly didn't let out the zoo or anything. The way the elephant was, though, doesn't seem like it was struggling to escape in its final moments. If the implication was that these creatures starved to death in their cages, I would expect to see some damage due to those cages as they tried to escape.
Mhm.
Maybe that doesn't express itself well for the small animals that aren't strong enough to do much to heavy metals, but the elephant was just slumped in the middle of its observation area. That gives me the vibe of something happening in an instant. Do you think the Legion used chemical or biological weaponry on the Empire? Shin never mentions hearing Imperial citizens in the Legion, only 86ers. If they just killed their creators really quickly in that way, it would explain all these things for me.
I think you make a really good case for it. I was kind of picturing the city had like some small arms fire or maybe like a tiny bit of looting damage. I swear I saw broken windows in
Yeah,
there.
no, that's why I explain as just not
Yeah.
being maintained for 5 years. A
Right.
storm can come through to extreme temperature. You know,
Right, that's
uh,
fair too.
we don't know what the weather is like if a tornadoes or hurricanes come through here and just the smallest rock or anything gets picked up by the wind. Also, just a quick change to my little note here. I said
Sure.
chemical or biological. Neutron bomb could do the exact same thing. But the exact point being is that there's no skeletons in the streets, right?
Yeah,
When
that's what I was about to say. Like we have all the animal skeletons that they didn't escape. We don't have any human skeletons. Was there a robot cleanup operation?
Well, I don't think
There's no
so.
blood on the bricks, even.
I would say no because they're all giant robots, but we have seen that the shepherds can have giant T-1000 arms, so who's
Mhm.
to say? But my point being is the fact that there aren't any leads me to believe that the people either just left in a hurry
Mhm.
or what if this happened in the middle of the night and they're just all in those buildings dead? Something happened in the middle of the night, a neutron bomb explodes, and these people were all at home. Like, not a single person on the street.
I feel like they would have had to have looked inside at least one building. I remember maybe they were talking about doing so. We just didn't visibly see it, but man, it's weird, isn't it? We have another mystery on our
Well,
hands.
then it's a situation of, hey, everybody left and left everything behind in a hurry,
Hmm.
right? Because even, even like, I'm thinking like Chernobyl, right? Even
Yeah.
when the Chernobyl, when they evacuated that whole city, they still said, one bag, bring one bag with you, and there's still evidence that people evacuated, right? Not that
Hmm.
they just fucking disappeared.
Yeah.
This is
No, nobody left in the middle of a meal and like has like Thanksgiving dinner still out rotting away or
that's the
anything.
problem, is that we didn't see the inside of the buildings, and the characters, as you mentioned, may have said something about it, but they didn't mention anything that they saw. This
Hmm.
is like a Roanoke situation, right? Where, oh, here's the colony. Looks like they were all getting ready to eat, and then there's nobody here.
I love that the Roanoke mystery is just fun. It's one of my favorites just because people
Well,
are
it's
just like,
explained. We already
wow,
know.
yeah, we already know, but it's like, wow, wonder what happened here. Looks like they probably went to the Indian tribe and just hung out with them. It's like, no, couldn't be. They all mysteriously vanished.
Well, it's like, wasn't Roanoke like the name of the Indian tribe?
It was quite literally.
Yeah, it was carved. No, sorry, Roanoke was the name of the colony. They carved into the tree the name of the Indian tribe that's nearby, or something like that. And it's like, it's the obvious thing that if you just don't mention the Indians, then it's very easily understand what, very easily to make a mystery out of it. But our thing here is that nobody's here, and they left everything exactly like it was. And I know I said would have happened in the middle of the night, but there should still be somebody like in a car or in the street somewhere. Because
Mhm.
somebody should have been wandering around. No city with a zoo, but no city large enough to have a zoo. It's gonna have completely empty streets unless there was a curfew. This was a war happening. Maybe they had a curfew and that they were all inside. But then you would still need the cops on the streets enforcing the curfew.
I think we are building more evidence towards the robots cleaned it all up for
I
resources.
don't think so, because then why wouldn't they clean up the zoo? Also, why would they clean it up at all? We've already seen that they just leave the dead
They can't
bodies.
use animal brains, I
No,
guess.
we already seen that they leave the dead bodies because we've seen all these scenes of Shin, going
Yeah,
through to carve
yeah.
out the things, and it's just fucking decapitated bodies sitting in juggernauts. They don't give a shit about the bodies. And if they cared so much about the city to clean it up, then why didn't they repair anything?
Hmm. It's a mystery.
I
I got no further theory that can help here.
Like I said, it only makes sense that they evacuated in a hurry, so much so that they didn't even open the gates to the zoo. But then again, like I said, the fact that the animals die in such a way that doesn't show any signs of a struggle has to tell me that they must have died in a hurry. Wait, wait, theory coming
Oh,
here.
one more thought. Okay.
What if they killed all the animals in the zoo and then evacuated? They,
There'd
they,
be some signs of damage, I guess.
Well, no, I mean, like, what if it was like tranquilizer darts, except not tranquilizer darts, but poison or something like that? What if they just like on their
The
way
zoo
out?
supply of cyanide.
I mean, could have been the
Uh,
millet. I mean, well, they have medicine, right? They have medicine for the animals. What if they just overdosed them on regular medicine? It's
mhm, mhm.
biological life drift. You might not know this. Real easy to kill. And
No, no way.
all I'm saying is that maybe they realized, oh shit, we're leaving. We can't take the animals with us.
Mhm.
But even then,
We gotta find out. Maybe we'll find out this episode.
Well, I mean, not if it's a Lena-centric episode.
Maybe they just all hated animals.
Then they wouldn't have a zoo. You don't have a zoo if you hate animals, unless you're a part of one of the zoo workers. That's
Yeah.
that's just a punishment for yourself. Like you said, we've created a Roanoke, and
Hmm.
since we've created it ourselves, we don't know if there's an Indian reservation nearby that everyone just walked to. By the way, obviously it wasn't a reservation when the Roanoke colony was there. There was a little thriving civilization of Native Americans. So
Well, we'll go into the American history later.
I guess
Let's talk about the
one
episode
more further
now.
clarification. It wasn't thriving by the time the Roanoke civilization there. Disease had already widespread killed the vast majority of the. I just feel like every time I say something, I denote something else I seem ignorant about, but I'm not. And I just really quickly want to tell you that I'm not.
All right. But last time here on 86 was thank you. Now, from the Republic's control, Spearhead travels deeper into the Empire territory, avoiding Legion patrols until they reach a river their juggernauts cannot cross alone. With their progress stopped, Spearhead are able to take the opportunity to rest and relax and explore a nearby abandoned Imperial town. And they note that Shin seems far more relaxed and easygoing now that he has set Shoru free and has been able to confide with Lita about his troubles. The next day, Shin returns to the town to confront a damaged black sheep that he was able to hear, and Mercy kills it by destroying its core. Afterwards, he tells the rest of Spearhead that he intends to find a foreign nation the Legion hasn't been able to conquer, where they can live in peace. 2 weeks later, Spearhead's robot companion Fido recalls its memories of being found by Shin and living with Spearhead before it is destroyed in an explosion. And that was last time. So, we've got them in a dire situation. They do at least have a goal. They're trying to get there. We saw like the entire montage of them continuing their journey. And the question is what kind of dire straits they could possibly end up in.
Well, I mean, we don't know if they're in a dire situation.
Hmm.
Remember how many people have died off
Well, they,
screen?
they they talked about that during
Remember,
the episode,
remember, Griff, how many people have died off screen? We
of
don't know
course.
if we're currently in one. In fact, I didn't mention it, but one of the flashes we saw on Fido was Falk's death.
Hmm.
Hirito Keats. The blood in the shadow, and then Shin carving his thing out and showing it to Fido.
Yeah, yeah. I guess like we could always like pan back into Shin being completely alone, but that seems I don't think they're going to do this for this last
Well,
one.
no, I mean all five of them are still alive as far as we know.
Again, like you said, they've done time jumps before.
Well, it's not about time jumps; it's just people dying off screen. The
Right.
whole fucking show is time jumps. We go like 1 month at a time. My point
Uh,
being is that I don't think it's incompletely necessary for us to be in the fight that we just saw.
mhm.
Only because other people have died in fights that we haven't seen. I think the amount of stuff that we saw in Fido's flashback was completely enough.
Yeah. So I think it's hard to necessarily speculate on exactly what they might find if we end up like panning back to them. Because they could find that other nation, they could find more robots, they could find more ruins of civilization, and there's just nothing. The story could go in any direction, and it just depends what does the story want to say,
Oh
right?
shit, we didn't mention. This is the last episode of the first core of the show.
That's right. We're right here at the very end of this core.
Yeah,
And
so this would be the moment where, if you were watching this in normal time, you would be left on whatever cliffhanger they're going to give us for the next core of the show.
they just kill everyone off, and then they're just like, next time, like, wait, who's left?
I mean, they could, right? They could kill everyone but Lena off, and then it's just what Lena does with
Hmm.
whatever 86er group comes next, because she's still responsible for whoever goes to the camp next, right? Whoever
Yeah.
whoever Lev meets, and the two old guys that take their pictures, creepy
Hmm.
old men taking pictures of children.
Hey, you
For
know, they
what
have
purpose?
feelings too.
For what purpose, by the way, if they're not going to recognize that one, they're humans, or 2, there's anybody in the Juggernauts, or 3, file any death reports when they're dead. What is the purpose of taking pictures of the kids? By the way, we
Maybe it
also...
is for cataloging.
No, we even see that when they send the reports to the 86ers that a unit has died, they only list their number. They don't even include the picture. So,
Yep.
what's it, for personal use? What's going on here?
I don't
Creepy
know. Maybe
old...
they take it home and go, it's like, yep, that's another group I helped kill. Yeah.
Griff, I'm just posing to you. Creepy old white men taking pictures of children that don't get used anywhere else.
I am going to activate my reflection power. It bounces all that psychic damage that you sent to me back to you. I am now immune to it. I do
Well,
not have to think about it.
well, Griff, as a creepy old white man myself, I use hardening.
I think on that note, let's just go ahead and watch. Before we get even worse today.
Demonetized.
Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out over the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all to support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Click the link down below, join the Discord, and remember that laughter is the best way to deal with stress. Oh, same day.
Oh, they're already up to shooting with their guns at these. Oh, this is how Fido dies.
Yeah. Yeah, Shin has to respond to Fido's death somehow, right?
Oh, yeah. Alright, well, I guess we're starting back with their group.
There's the moment here in the opening where it shows the two faces, and it's supposed to be like the commanders of the other squads. And they used to be 3, and it kept changing as each of the commanders died and was replaced with somebody else from that sub squadron. Oh, even Fido's gone!
Just nobody.
First it was who was sitting on top of Fido that's gone, and now it's fucking Fido's gone. How long until the hangar is gone?
Oh my gosh, yeah, that'd be a funny season 2 thing to do.
Well, I anticipate that we're just gonna get a whole new branch of people in season 2.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get a whole new intro
not
here.
season 2, core 2, but yeah, hold on, it's coming up. That right there.
Ah, right, yeah, we're just them yet.
There used to be 3 people, and it also used to be Black Dog was one of them. But if you remember, Snow Witch took over that sub squadron for Black Dog when he died.
Oh, it's doing it again. It's tricking me. I thought it was about to end again.
So it's not even... Don't even have enough people to fill all the roles.
Oh, there's so many dead.
But Fido is not there in the field.
I guess now we get into the do robots have souls discussion.
I guess they're indicating that he wasn't a dog.
Oh gosh, that'd be funny if they did that, actually.
Oh, what do you carve off of Fido? Or are you leaving the box with him?
The final burial, please.
Yeah, all your juggernauts are ruined.
結局生き残ったのは真のだけか。
小銃と拳銃はあるけど、
たまに限りがあるんじゃね。
コンテナをやられたのが痛かったな。弾薬も燃料もあれであらかた燃えた。
ご飯も。
Even more dire straits. Perfect.
こっちは終わったよ。そっちは？
問題なし。じゃあ出発しよう。グズグズしてるとまたレギオンに見つかる。あ、
操縦は？ずっとシンくんってわけにもいかないでしょう。
適当に交代しながら行くか。
Oh, someone's sitting in your mech, Shin.
Shan, you can't just drive for 8 hours a day. It's not fun. Don't do it.
Of course they have to be. That's crazy he jumps around the place.
じゃあ最初は私乗るよ。
いや僕やるよ。
さっきも
It's gonna like lurch forward.
それに私最初にやられちゃったから全然疲れてないし。
じゃあもしレギオンが出てきたらその時乗ってるやつ
To be fair,
ってことでいいな。
the guy who was saying that should be the most capable of driving it. Laughing Fox is the only other Vanguard member left, so he's the only one that did the same role as Shin. Everybody else was a ranged person.
Being that deep into the box being carried is actually terrifying.
I mean, it looks like an actual storm and not the mechanical robot storm thing.
急げ。
Ah, you're right on point.
Well, I thought he was worried that it was a Legion thing coming in. Because they have the artificial storm.
Ah, that's some good heavy rain ambience.
Oh, it was Legion too. Little column A, little column B. And then a column of Legion.
真のおかげでやり過ごせたね。
それにしてもすごい数だったわね。ここに来てあいつら増えてない？
奴らの本拠地に近づいてるってわけか。そうだな。
They're gonna find the robot factory or something here. More abandoned city. Alright, this is slightly more war-torn.
I don't know. I'm not seeing explosive damage. Streets left alone to the weather for like 5 or 6 years. I could see that the roads look on like that.
学校かな。
そうなの？
Imperial
Oh,
First
they can't
Academy.
read the Imperial.
そっか。クレナちゃん
It's funny because it's
行っ
English.
たことないんだっけ？
国や文化が違っても似るもんだな。学校ってのは。
これが
They step inside and see a bunch of, like, dead kid skeletons. It's gonna be the worst.
そうしよ
Also, I wouldn't imagine to be a lot of inside fighting, right?
Right.
読めるの？クレナちゃん。
So this place is, like, completely untouched. No one was
Demo
defending
楽しそう。
at the
う。なんか
elementary
懐かし
school.
いな。好きだったか？勉強。いや。
It's like I guess the Empire had like no fucking bunkers in it anywhere.
ライデンシガ君。
Oh yeah, I guess if everyone ran to
ラ
a
イデン
bunker,
君
that
は
would
お
be a
休みなのか
solution.
な？
Or like those North Korean underground tunnel networks
はい。
that you always hear about.
瀬尾と立花君。います。クレナククミラ君。
Oh my god, it's so cute.
はい。
新鋭ノーゼン君。
はい。勉強しないならただの木材よ。なるほどね。
これもなんかのイベント？
学級崩壊？
Ah, she's too into it. She's gonna die.
よしと。
She's giving off death flags.
Look, they all are right now. They're having fun and emotion.
教科書でしょ。
No one's as into it as she is.
罪悪感が。
読めない本に意味はないだろ
そうだね。
Nihonica.
まだ残ってたの？
It's my last Jolly Rancher.
いっか。
You'll never get candy again.
食後のデザートも
I mean, to be fair,
おしまい。
you might be able to find some of the school somewhere if you search it.
Of all things, a bunch of hard candy might actually last the longest.
Depending on water damage.
今日いっぱいってとこだな。あ、楽しいハイキングもいよいよ終わりか。出発するぞ。
はーい。午前中は私の番よね。
あ、
I guess I gotta act like kids one last time.
一日で卒業か。すごい優秀じゃん僕たち。
将来有望
I mean, the number one thing on any road trip is that you're going to be bored as hell sitting around doing nothing the entire time. So any fun you can have while you're parked is actually the best thing you can do.
そう。
合ってるのか。
このままでいいのよね。
そうだ。
了解。
アンジュ、そろそろ変わろう。も
早くない？
He can sense the
お昼まで
fight.
は私がやるって。
I think he would be asking to detach. Yeah, so I think he'd be asking to detach if he was expecting a fight. Because otherwise he'd be whipping this crate thing around behind you, jumping all over the place.
シンくんはあの学校から絵本の一冊くらい持ってくるべきだったわね。
そうだな。
He's definitely looking around for something. He's hearing another one.
シンくん、こっちはいいよ。
じゃあ見張りはクレナで。
はあ、そこは買うよ。
Yep.
乗ってるやつが戦う。そういう決まりだったな。お前、最初からそのつもりで。どうやっても回避できない部隊がいる。避けられないなら戦うしかない。
Oh, hero moment.
交代しようなんて。ずるいわ、シンくん。
Oh, sure, it's a hero moment when he does it, but every fucking tabletop game we've ever played, when I'm trying to do it, I'm just trying to get all the action myself.
人が残っていたら、可能ならそいつらに保護を求めろ。
ふざけないでよ。それってシンがおとりになるってそういうことだろ。
Here's the thing, though.
一緒に行くんでしょ。
I think the show would kill Shin, so
一人で行くなんて。
I believe the show would kill Shin, or I believe the show would kill everybody else and leave Shin alive.
切りやがった。あのバカが。
Damn it, you destroyed my camera.
Forgot they just used their limbs as swords for a moment. Ah, the Juggernauts are all just so cool.
To be fair, they're all pretty cool. The Lows and all the Legion other subtypes. Oh, that's right, they've got railguns. I
待っ
forgot.
てよ。
私も行くわ。
いいんだな。
シンだけ行かせるわけにはいかないでしょ。
だな。
I would say it's a suicide mission, but this whole goddamn thing is a suicide mission, so...
It's been from the start.
殺してやる。男も女も子供も年寄りも。
Wait, are the shepherds copies too?
姫様
Oh no.
全て何もかも全て殺してやる。
Wait, what? This is somebody else.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Oh, wait, yeah, because Ray seemed very much himself still, which means that if the Empire nobles were still there, they would still be themselves, right? So the princess could still be somebody. Oh, this is foolishness.
Yeah, the rest of them were just watching.
No, I just mean literal handguns we've seen do nothing to the armor on even the weakest.
バカだな。そんな武器でレギオンに勝てるわけ。
Oh, these things again.
the mobile landmine things. The creepiest thing about them is how unhuman they are.
I know, right? It's the uncanny valleyness of them.
Oh, laughing fox.
Oh, I just love the, like, little visual confirmation of the earpiece for it. It's like, yeah, he's dead.
Bakada. 本当にバカだ。レギオンになった俺は誰の名前を呼ぶのだろう。
Did you pre-cut yourself out?
Good question.
Also, 17 days ago?
Oh, we're setting up the rescue here, then.
I don't know.
Lena's finally made it to the frontline base.
They were deep into Imperial territory. I don't know you send a rescue that far. Wait, what? Oh, that's right, they have these things.
Yeah, they got more than one, I guess.
Yeah.
ファイドならいねえぞ。あいつらが連れてっちまったからな。
犬ではなかったのですね。
ミリーゼ少佐。
Conjecture.
Yeah.
こんなところまで何の用だ。謹慎食らってんだろ。
はい。おかげで前線を視察する時間ができました。
次の処刑対象者と一緒にか。噂は聞いてたが、物好きだなあんた。見てきな。残してったものは少ねえが、それでも良けりゃだがな。
Yeah,
They
they
did
left
spend a whole
dolls.
episode cleaning.
Well, no, they left 5 hanging dolls from one of the windows.
Oh, yeah.
送り込まれてきたガキどもを見送り続けて随分になるが、ここまで来たハンドラーは初めてだ。
アルドレヒト注意。あなたは
アルバさ、あんたらと同じ。
Well, your hair color's not right.
でな、娘と一緒に連れてかれそうになった時、髪を染めてついてった。
Oh, okay.
二人の
Hair dye is a thing.
殺したくて志
Thank
願し
you, anime, for remembering.
結局、二人とも戦場で死んじまった。真のやつが配属されてきた時こっそり聞いたよ。女房も娘も守れなかったクソ野郎を探してるレギオンはいねえかって。
いたらどうしたのですか？
言って殺されてやるつもりだった。けどあいつはいないっつった。俺の名を呼んでるレギオンはどこにもな。それを聞いて少し救われたよ。
I don't know if that's better or worse.
There's no good outcome, unfortunately.
戦場に囚われちゃいねえ。俺が向こうに行きさえすりゃ。
I'm the kind of person to be second-guessing everything all the time anyway.
At least I understand its motivation fully here. This is good stuff.
俺たちを恨んでるなら構わねえ。うさばらしに殺していいぜって言うんだが、どうも実行してくれるやつがいなくてな。今回もそうだった。おかげでまた死にはぐれちまった。
This is everything I talked about before when I said Lev is a long-time survivor of all of this shit. Yeah, I said that was episode 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah, he was already just a cool dude. Now it's like, oh man. Feel for him.
Well, as I was saying, Lev had to have gone through so much, and this is the episode where they go through, hey, this is the shit Lev's gone through.
Oh, the chickens are still here.
Well, somebody already
Took
took him
him
down. Oh, they just fell. This goes to show you, Griff, like I said. It was damage from time. The conversation they had where he stabbed the table.
なあ、大社で飼ってんすよ。足の先っちょだけ白い黒猫なんすよ。
なぜかアンダーテイカーに一番懐いちゃったんだよね。
全然じゃらしてもあげないし、こびこびスリスリされてもお
I
ざな
thought
り
she
に
was
な
gonna
って
take
る
the
だ
cat
け
with
な
her.
のにね。
懐いてるっつうか、いいベッドだと思ってんじゃねえのか。今だってそうだろありゃ。
ああ、読書中は動かないからな。ではブラックドッグには絶対なれないな。
The smartest cat in the universe.
Well, I mean, it's the only thing with a scent left, probably.
名前は何というのですか？
黒、
白。
ニケ、
キティ、チビ。
レマルク。
Just a hammer at home, right?
If you were ever wondering about the inspirations for this show, we have one right here, everybody. And if you really want to be sad, go read that one too. It's not any better.
こんなもんをわざわざ探して見つけたんなら、あんた
Raiden,
は
huh?
本物のバカだ。ライデンシュガ。
名前書いとく。どうせあんた今度は誰が誰だかわからないって泣くんだろうから。セオトリッカ。
And he labeled on a little drawn thing about which one was which in the picture.
善人ごっこのついでに。いいでしょ？クレナ・ククミラ。名前はまだつけてないから、可愛い名前を翔さんがつけてあげてくださいね。
Yeah, it gets right here.
アンジュエマ。
Oh, it's all juxtaposed with the innocent cat too.
"いつか俺たちが行き着いた場所まで来たら、花でも備えてくれませんか。新鋭農前。
私もまた歩んでいける。彼らは最後にそう信じてくれた。行くよ。なんて呼ぼうか。戦おう。好みの命運尽き果てる。
Oh, the head finally fell off on that thing.
It's been falling off the entire damn time. Last
Yeah.
couple episodes, it was almost like completely down.
Oh gosh. This is just every single episode of this has just been increasingly touching, right?
Well, I mean, even as expected as I said it was still unexpected. And then it's the double gut punch of, here's our final words because we knew you'd come out here, you crybaby. It's like, oh, Jesus. And this is the end of the first core, which means there's more.
Like from our perspective, it would be obviously they're all dead now, but they're still leaving us on the cliffhanger of, wonder what happened to them.
No, I'm pretty sure they're dead. I think this is
They ought
Lena's.
to be, yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is Lena's story now.
Mhm.
That this, much like the first season of Vinland, is just the prologue to whatever comes.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, so what do you? I guess we gotta start collecting our thoughts about the series as a whole here.
We're not done the series.
Well, the
We
core,
have
I
like
guess,
another
the
11
core.
episodes. Or I don't know how many more.
Because this is where they leave off here. This is a package.
Well, don't know. Is there anything past the credits? I'm waiting.
One more image, Shin in the robot.
That's the coloration that they've given to people the robot.
ごめんな。俺がずっと呼んだせいで、こんなところまで来させて。
Ah, adorable.
行くよ。
ば行方も知らないあの日の群青
Oh, that's confirmation.
千夜に赤くひなげしの咲く
Remember last episode they had the flower field that was all blue.
Oh, this makes the second core what's gonna come up is definitely, you're right, Lena's story. Lena's going to be taking on the role of Shin, where she keeps hearing Shin out there and has to go stop him.
Well, I mean, Shin was the only one that could hear them. So, I mean, wait, I don't know. So my brain's not working right now. I don't know if the other people could hear them too. Because we know that they were doing it, and maybe it wasn't being reported, but it felt like Shin was the only one that could hear it. So if Shin's the only one that could hear it, it doesn't matter anymore. And unless we get another character who... Sorry, the ending there, what I was hoping I was seeing was that there was some sort of, like, Legion noosphere sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
Where the collected intelligences of the people that got decapitated and put their minds uploaded still existed, so that even though Rei was dead, that Rei's personality was still in there, and now that Shin's head got cut off, that Shin's personality was just gonna enter into the same thing. You know, like they've got some sort of shared computing network, but that was very clearly these characters are dead now, let's give them just one final send-off thing. So
I don't know, but you put it pretty accurately. Like, that's the layering that they use when they're in the machine, and we see Shin's head cut off. It happened. He is in the Robo Mindscape.
oh yeah, no, I have no doubt that they're dead. Well, I have one doubt that they're dead, and that I've seen them drawn their character images in uniforms that I've never seen before, them in the show. So, that's my one final doubt. Also, I've yet to appear. So, either I've yet to appear, or I've appeared as much as Griffin has.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, God. So difficult.
I'm imagining, like, trying to take the opposite side away from the emotional, like, the action stuff, right? Shin as Black Shepherd for the next core is a frightening prospect, right?
Well, you've combined two words together. You either meant black sheep or shepherd.
Right, okay, just Shepherd then. Him as a Shepherd next season is going to, or next core, is going to be frightening, right? He was already this incredibly crazy pilot. Now he's a robot with absolutely no restrictions.
Well, I mean, the only thing I could think of, well, I don't know, because the whole point was Rei was coming after Shin, so the Legion was kind of holding back because it didn't want to kill the dude. They wanted to take him alive so that he could become another Shepherd. But Shin has no reason to hold back unless this is now Lena has to do to Shin what Shin did to Rei. In which case, now it's going to be Shin's holding back because he wants to take Lena. But I don't know that doesn't sound right to the last image that we got of, well, Shin's kind of at peace now because here's him and Rei together. I don't know that Shin's final thoughts are going to be of Lena when we have implicitly been shown they seem to have been of Rei.
I'm wondering if Shin, in like this very calm state, becoming a shepherd here for the Legion, will do something really, really weird with it. Because, like you said before, like, they were already under such control that they held back. They specifically had plans to try to capture him and everything. And now here they are, where, sorry, my train of thought got completely interrupted. Now they're at a point where he's in control. He has a whole bunch of new perspectives on things. He's as clear-minded as he could possibly be for the procedure. He could, like, try to free Alba or something.
Doesn't seem likely.
It seems unlikely.
It seems like they still have a modicum of this is our goal in the war programming in there. I think I've talked about it before where I said opposite, but obviously the Legion is still operating towards a goal. Otherwise, the Shepherds would just lead whatever squadrons they have and do the fuck whatever they wanted, and they're not. Also, something I said previously, the whole nobility of the Empire might still be in the Legion. I think
Right,
I
we
think I
literally have
was
the
I think I
Princess
was wrong.
Protector
I think
there.
I was wrong. You started talking and I was like, no, I'm trying to lead up to I was wrong, Griff. Don't start agreeing with me all of a sudden. I think I was wrong. I think that was a black sheep.
Oh, just a black sheep?
I
Well,
Yeah, I think that was the black sheep of a guardsman that was protecting the royal family. And his
mhm.
first thought is his last thought rather was I have to protect the princess. So that's literally I think that was just a black sheep thinking its final thoughts.
For exactly one statement from one character who is already dead, it is now positing so many questions about what happened inside the Empire territory here. And maybe even could be the context for like what happened to them via the Legion too. Because if
It's
someone is there like, I hate everyone, the only person I'm protecting is the princess. If that was the mood at the time, yeah, the whole thing just collapsed internally.
it's very much a concept. I think it's expressed best in the novelization or the
Uh-huh.
novel version, I should say, of World War Z, not the novelization of the movie because that'd be fucking terrible. The original, which is one woman, her plane goes down and she lands in like the middle of like Louisiana. I can't remember exactly where it is,
Uh-huh.
but she basically has to hoof it back to a point where she can picked up and survive. And she's going through all of her survival training. And one of the things that she has to remember is not to look at the zombies and wonder how they died. Because while you're lost in thought wondering what happened to them, they'll fucking get you.
Yeah, gee.
So my thought process here is like this thing is repeating how it died, possibly. If literally could be either one of the two ideas, but I think I'm wrong. I'm thinking this is just a guardsman who wanted to protect the princess and died doing so. My mind's just going through all zombie media right now. Where we
Yeah.
had that what was it? What was the console that had an O in it? Wii U. It was the Wii
Yeah.
U had that one zombie game, Zombie U, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they had a amazing trailer, and it ends with a one lone guardsman outside of I can't remember what the palace is
Buckingham
called.
Palace.
Outside the Buckingham Palace, swinging his bayonet on a zombie, and all you see behind him is like thousands of other zombies closing in on him. And it's clearly last stand of the guardsman to protect the queen, and that's the feel I get here. Is it
Yeah.
last guardsman? I've got to protect the princess, and that's literally, as we know, it's their final thoughts
Mhm.
when they die. Is what they repeat as black sheep, and it seems more. That seems more on point to me, especially because we saw like a real flash of the image of the princess.
Mhm.
It seems more likely to me that than an attacking legion group is for some reason thinking, gotta protect the princess out here where I'm doing the attacking for some reason.
I would say the number one quality of this show is the way that you can empathize with every person here, that you feel them, and that's why we have like such strong emotional reactions here, like at the end, where we're just like constantly feeling for like everyone dying and going away. But even with like so much little about the Empire, we're still already empathizing with like their position, what's happened to them, and everything.
Well, they did it
Even
to
just based off of
themselves.
one character.
The fact that they did it to themselves is also a thing, right? But
Mhm.
it's like we're analyzing the landscape imagery because it means anything could mean anything, right? It's like, okay, there's a couple broken parts on the road. Does that mean that there was a lot of heavy shit trampling over it in an invasion? Or is
Mhm.
that just 8 to 9 years of unprepared water, rain,
Is it the
wind
Legion
damage?
stomping through it on another hike, etc.?
Well, that was the first part. That's the second
Mhm.
part is just could it just be nature, right? Are all these cracks in the walls because of shit getting tossed against it real hard in a fight in a war, or is it just unrepaired natural damage? Like
Right.
nothing that we saw couldn't be one or couldn't be the other. Everything could have been anything. There weren't any
And we
bullet
gotta wait to
holes.
core 2 now for it.
There
For
weren't
the
any
answer.
bullet holes on walls. There weren't any explosion damage. Like the closest thing I came to agreeing with you that a fight may have happened in the second village was when they went to the school. One of the walls collapsed, not the building wall, but the outer wall that so the kids don't escape.
The
Yeah,
gate,
I,
the
I,
fence,
I
yeah.
like that's my description of the gate of a school. So the kids don't escape. That's so the kids don't get loose. The school, the childhood prisons that we made to keep children locked up, had collapsed, and it's like, I don't know. There's not like a little crater hole or anything, so it could still kind of be natural damage. It's hard to tell. Nothing itself expresses itself as though the Empire fought back. And I guess also pointedly, we know the normal army of San Magnolia only lasted a week before it got destroyed. So,
yeah.
so if the Empire put all of its forces into the Legion and had like a standing army, that standing army would have only lasted so long as well.
Oh gosh, yeah, we're painting a scenario there where there's no chance that if the Legion wanted to do anything, that they had any chance to resist it any further.
I guess
So everything's pretty terrible.
my only thing is that they couldn't fight inside of buildings. So the fact that there's like not a lot of people or like remains of people inside the buildings and there's no damage to the outside implies that the Legion didn't just like fucking shell buildings. It didn't shoot through them. Like,
yeah,
the fact that nobody is there is what's getting to me. That there's no body. Like, we saw the inside of the school, right?
it is increasingly haunting here.
We saw the inside of the school. Now, that's two things here. Obviously, wouldn't be anybody if they evacuated, right? But also, what is in times of emergency the one place everybody evacuates to?
You're gonna say school building.
Well, obviously, it feels like that would be a real dick rip moment if I said something else. Well, I don't know about you in Texas, but here on the East Coast, when a hurricane comes by, people evacuate to the high schools and whatnot. If
you want to go to like a larger building that has more structural support and stuff like that.
Right, if you can't leave the general area, like go to another state and you don't feel safe enough to shelter at home, you go to a high school or something where you go to like the gymnasium and everybody's given a cot and food and whatnot.
I think the only thing we're missing for the Empire is like the pile of glasses or something, like the literal Holocaust imagery. And that'll just cement like this is the worst possible scenario that could have ever happened.
I don't think that would exist in the apocalypse scenario that we're in.
Yeah.
Because why would the machines gather up there's no valuables to the machines.
Because it's easier to deal with the bodies that way. Maybe I don't know.
Again,
I'm putting up the worst possible idea here.
Well, again, these are the things that leave decapitated bodies on the battleground. They don't. My point is, they don't care. They wouldn't be like, all right, so this is 15,000 piles of boots, right? And here's all the jackets. Here's the gold teeth. They're not doing the Nazi thing, right?
Yeah.
They're not collecting the valuables and storing them away. They don't care. And the fact that we know they don't care
makes it all the weirder that everything is gone.
Well, that there's nothing there, right? You'd expect. I mean, maybe they did collect them, and then somewhere there's just a giant mass grave of skeletons, headless skeletons. Maybe the original Legion was. I'm not the original Legion. Maybe the original Legion of victims was a lot more collected.
It's distinctly possible.
I mean, maybe
we just gotta wait for our answers.
Maybe they did it to themselves. Like maybe the Legion didn't do this because they were running out of time. Well, why would they build in a built-in time if they intentionally decapitated themselves?
I guess I gotta say I'm excited to find all those answers out in the next core because this core has completely, entirely sold me on every single aspect of it. I want to see more characters go through horrible, awful things and die. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a wonderful time watching you cry.
So this has been Stone Face Reactions, everybody. Thanks for watching. I'm Theta. That's been Griff. We'll catch you next time.
Here.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?